everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel. In this channel we will explore an Amharic movie called Heater or November. Please start by hitting the subscribe, then the like button. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. As the movie begins, a man named Andebet plays a drum. While playing he flashbacks his childhood. In his flashback we see him as a kid looking at his father talking with his brother Degso about fleeing from Getachew, who is the murderer of Andebet's mother. Andebet's father asks Degso to take the boy and run away. Degso begs his brother to come with them, but Andebet's father insists on staying to face the man who killed his wife. Then tells them, "If I flee now, I will have to run forever. So take my son and go." When Degso is about to go, they hear a footsteps and hit under the stairs. Then Getachew arrives with a gun on his hand and takes off his jacket. While doing so, Andebet's father readies himself for a fight with a dagger on his hand. Then Getachew tells him that he broke out of prison solely to destroy him and his family. Then Andebet's father replied it was I who should brood vengeance, and reminds him that his wife Almaz, who was Andebet's mother, was given to Getachew unwillingly. On top of that, Almaz was his childhood love and mother of his only son Andebet. Getachew then asks him, "Why do you think I killed her in the first place? Are reminding me heart was not with me and I have been cuddling her cold body?" Then tells him that he slew her throat because she allowed her womb to carry his enemy's son. But Andebet's father begs Getachew to set aside their enmity for the sake of their children who shared Almaz's womb. But Getachew refuses and shoots him on the left shoulder first and then on the right shoulder. But Andebet's father does not give up and they both started fighting. While they fight, the man suddenly pulls the trigger and the bullet hits Andebet's leg. Then Degso holds Andebet's mouth so that he can't shout because of the pain. Next, Andebet is sleeping on his bed, goes out for workout. After that he goes in front of prison where his father's killer is imprisoned. Then he throws stone to the gate, and when the police arrive he gives stone to a child and leaves the place. Later, we see Degso sharpening a knife for meat sellers. On the other hand, Andebet's musician friends are sitting with Andebet's cousin Cabret. Cabret is a poem writer. They asked him if he came up with a melody for the poem he wrote. Then we see a boy serving them popcorn. The boy's haircut is called Kuncho. Cabret starts explaining about Kuncho, saying Kuncho have special meaning in Ethiopia. It means summit, the first, the leader. Then continues telling them about Ethiopians, mentioning what the manuscripts witness the truth about Ethiopia being first of first and hope of the last. Then regretfully speaks about people developing nasty habit of admiring what others admire and scorning what others admire. The girl then tells him how much his literature study helped him, and Cabret agrees with the girl and tells her a girl named Hajira helped him to take care for his identity. Then the girl asks about Hajira and he tells her that Hajira is a hairdresser and she scarified her education for her brothers. Though she barely gets education, everyone visits her. She knows her true self, so she is dignified. Next, we see Cabret and Andebet sitting for lunch. Cabret says the food was prepared by Degso and Andebet thanks him, then starts eating. While eating, Cabret speaks about Andebet's family, saying that he lost his mom and dad to a person, and tells him the person is languishing in prison for that and there is no harm he could bring to that person. Hearing this, Andebet gets furious and sees flashback of his father playing with him. Then he takes the picture of his father's killer, which makes him remember the moment of his father's death, and he is sitting beside his father's dead body looking at his father's dagger on his hand. Later, we see Hajira hairdressing. The girl named Bamalak to whom she hairdress asks Hajira why she refused to marry white people who proposed to her frequently. Then Hajira asks the girl if she would disown if her breast died out, and the Bamalak replies that her question is as complex as her hairdressing style and asks her back, why would anyone disown his or her mom, and Hajira tells her as long as she love him, the rest doesn't matter, the only important thing is love. Then tells her, if she marry for the sake of going abroad, it is as good as disowning her mother, and tells her if she marry a white man to ask him about her mother's breast, and Bamalak asks her what she meant. Then Harag tells her that he knows her mother more than Bamalak. This makes Bamalak feel sad, asks Hereg if she think of her mother as prostitute like others, and Hereg says no, I didn't mean that. But Bamalak didn't believe her and goes away after telling her that she won't come back again. Next, Bamalak comes back with her mother and Bamalak's mother asks Hajra, who are you calling dried tits, and tells her that she is the one who breastfeed the whole village and calls Hajra a spinster. Hajra on the other hand tells the woman to calm down and talk, but Bamalak's mother refuses to calm down. Then Bamalak also shouts at Hajra saying that is my mom you are calling prostitute. And Hajra begs Bamalak's mother to calm and listen to her, but Bamalak's mother still refuses to listen and goes away. Then Bamalak follows her asking her forgiveness, and Bamalak's mother tells her that she is the one who insulted her, not Hereg. Next, we see Hajra looking at Cabret and she greets him, that she asks him if he is going to introduce her to his friend. Cabret tells her that he is his brother Andabet and he is a clever musician. Then Hajra tells them that she also sings when she dress hair. She also tells them that she knows many traditional music, Ankihoy, Badi, and Basal. Hajra's grandpa was a bard and harp player, and music was her mother's effective communication. It's like a lullaby, you can't help but listen all her irk and pain. She asks Andabet if his families are musician too, then Cabret tells her that Pain showed him the way. Then, Hajra touches Andabet's hair and tells him that his hair needs nourishing and puts better on it. Then Andabet washes it as soon as he gets home. Later, Andabet, Hajra and Cabret are sitting in an abounded kindergarten. Cabret is writing poem whereas Andabet and Hajra are chatting. Hajra tells him that she used to come to the kindergarten to play with children, it was well-known kindergarten, but now there is no one. Whenever she misses them she comes here and sits. Then Andabet asks her if she didn't get an education. She tells him that her sole dream was teaching her brother and seeing him graduate. When he finishes his education and get employed, she considers it as her success, he is her everything. Andabet tells her Cabret has a saying the author is more important than the book, but we forget the author and pick up the book, then tries to ease her mind saying maybe your brother can't stop talking about you. Then asks her when her brother will come. She tells him Haidar 12 or November 12th. The day is special for her, because other than hugging her brother she is going to witness an incineration of uncleanness. She tells him she will introduce them when the day comes. Then they start spending times together. Next, Hajra is dressing Bamalak's hair and two boys come and ask Hajra to serve them first, but she tells them to wait until she finishes Bamalak's hair. Then they tell her she is uptight and asks her the point of beautifying a calabash. Then Bamalak angrily tells them to leave her alone. This makes the boys angry, and when they are about to beat her, Hajra stops them and tells them she will serve them according to their arrival. Then the boys leave after telling her that they will not come to her anymore. Then Bamalak feels sad because of the two boys' reaction and says, they call me bastard, daughter of bastard. Why should they care if I'm bastard or not? What did I do wrong? They're always humiliating me, and goes without saying goodbye. Next, Andabet is sitting with Hajra. She is making dantel with a crotcher. Then Andabet tells her that she is not fast at it and she replies, it is difficult to braid many threads together. Then he asks her for what the dantel is. She answers, for remedy. And tells him that she will show him when it is done. But she can't tell him now. Later Bamalak comes and asks Hajra to teach her cookery. Then Bamalak starts learning cookery. The chef asks Bamalak if she know her and Bamalak answers no, I don't know you. Then the chef starts to tell her who she is. She came from long family of sauté chef. Her family established the old abattoir, and Emperor Menelik preferred her mom's pudding. Then Bamalak carelessly tells her that's good, and the chef angrily tells her that her whole life revolves around stirring stew and tells her if you asked how many body parts does men has, you can't go deeper than the skin. Then Bamalak says pardon and the chef tells her to forget it, then tells her that her mother's stew was like love poison, even bitter enemies would dine together on her table. Bamalak is confused and asks how could a stew reconcile enemies. Then the chef answers when Italian occupation ended, the captured Italian soldiers were to be sent home, our patriots threw a feast for them. When a royal troubadour observed this, he said, "A wonder is she indeed inside the mansion, what turned an enemy to be in with the foe? It could have been the walls that caused the carnage. A strange stew brings out the love from the wounds of Macbeth." When the troubadour sung, the patriots were hand-feeding the captives. Next, kids are playing ball and the ball falls, then Bamalak picks it up and gives to the kid, but the kid takes it forcefully and she asks him what happened to him and he calls her bastard, which makes her angry and slaps him. Then the kid goes and brings his brother and his brother slaps her first and lets his friend hold her and orders the little bot to slap her as a vengeance. Later, Andabet goes in front of prison and finds Getachews' brother who came to ask Getachew. Getachews' brother tells him Getachew knows that he is waiting for him and he is dauntless. This makes Getachew furious and waits for him on his way back home and chases him holding his father's dagger with his mouth, but could not catch him since he doesn't have legs. Next, Bamalak decides to with a foreigner because of the community's injustice act towards her and says goodbye to Hadra. Later, Andabet asks Degso to help him get his revenge, but Degso refuses. Then Andabet tells him, "If I can't find Getachew, I will catch his daughter. So, if my demand for revenge makes you this way, you are as good as my parents' killer." This makes Degso angry and slaps him. Then Andabet tells him that he don't want his help anymore. Then Degso goes to his workplace and tries to break his knife sharpening machine. On the next scene we see kids throwing unusual amount of stone to the door of the prison because the day is Getachew's Freedom Day. Next, we see Degso speaking about Andabet with Hereg. Degso tells her to tell Andabet what they have kept from him. It turns out Hadra is the daughter of Getachew whom Andabet is looking for, to kill. She says she would be happy if Andabet knows her and calls her as a sister, but he is consumed by the thought of killing her and her father. Degso on the other hand is appalled by the fact that she gave up all her life for him. And she tells him it's her duty. She thinks if she didn't cut short her education and pay for his education it would be killing him too. Then Degso decides to tell him so that he can come to terms with the truth. Hadra cries and begs him to keep the time until the right time comes, because if he knows the truth he will start killing from her. Next, Getachew's brother tells Getachew about how Andabet used to throw stone to the prison and how often he used to come to Getachew's home, then asks him to flee with him, but Getachew refuses to go anywhere. He says he'll wait and prepared if he comes. In the evening, Hadra serves the dinner she prepared and they start eating, but in the middle of dining, Andabet sees Degso's broken bicycle and thanks Degso for everything he have done for him, then tells him that he wish he can unburden everything and live to make him happy, but he can't. In the morning, Andabet fixes Degso's bicycle early in the morning and Degso starts his work happily. Then Cabret trains Andabet's friends the poem he wrote about Haidar 12. He tells them that they need to understand what it's about before singing, then starts explaining. Haidar 12 is started to be remembered from Menelik's era, during the time a cataclysmic plague started from waste and claimed many lives. After the royal decree to burn all the waste, they eliminated the plague and saved lives. Then they were happy with their achievements and started to remember that day, Dar 12, publicly. Later, Hadra takes Andabet for a walk pushing his wheelchair and asks him if he would want to play her brother's game with her. Then he asks her if her brother is coming tomorrow, because she said he will come November 12th and it's tomorrow. And she tells him that he is already here and she will meet him tomorrow and asks him again if he mind playing till then, and he agrees to play if he can. While playing, she sees herself playing. She sees herself playing the same game with him in her childhood. Then he brings her bread and pencil, and she asks him whether he will play with her or not if she is lazy, and he answers I will and asks where her books are so that he can help her study. And she tells him that her father kills him if he finds him, because he killed their mother. Then she comes back to her sense and faints because of her illness. Minutes after that she wakes up and tells him everything. Then he tells her that if she really is his sister, he will come back to kill her and goes home. When he comes back home, Degso says that he can't comprehend Andabet's blood mindness and tells him about his sister, saying she is the one who brought you up by dressing hair and cooking. If you still want to kill her, you are an animal, you're a monster. Then Cabret takes Degso out and starts telling what he thinks about Hadra. He says she is your sister whom you loved your entire life. But Andabet, overtaken by his desire for vengeance, asks Cabret to give him the dagger, and Cabret offers him the dagger on his hand and tells him if she deserves death for what she has done for him, he can take it and go. Then Andabet takes the dagger and leaves. Next, he arrives at Hadra's house and sees her lying on the bed wearing the dentelle she made with crochet. He remembers what she said while making it and cries. Then Getachew arrives with a gun on his hand and point the gun onto Andabet's head, but suddenly Andabet makes him drop the gun and jumps on him. While Andabet is on Getachew and he is humming his neck after punching him, Getachew takes the gun and tries to shoot Andabet's gut, but fortunately Hadra took out the bullets. Later, we see Bamalak returned and wearing just like Hadra and Hadra awaiting her. Then finally Andabet and Getachew forms peace and forget everything for the sake of Hadra. The end. See you on the next video. Until then, take care. FEO Movie Recap.